Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Can I Get Some Sports with That? I am your host today, Neil. Of course, you already know. It's been a crazy wild season to start so far in the NFL. We halfway through the season now. Uh, Things are only getting crazier. NBA just kicked off. These games are great to start the season. So let's go ahead and introduce the panel. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Mr. Ronnie, who we haven't seen in a long time. Ronnie, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? I'm excited to be back. Let's get this started on the road.
All right. Next up, we got Mr. Marcus. Say what's up to the people.
Greetings and salutations. And I told y'all we put them Amber alerts out. So we got Ronnie back, we got Dave back. We in here. Now we just got to get Darian back.
For sure. And
It's
of course,
10-6.
I got always is with me, Dave. Dave, say what's up to the people.
Yo. Like Marcus said, I'm back. So happy to be back and ready to get the show on the road.
And last but not least, I got the man rocking the Mr. Dame Time jersey himself. Mike, say what's up to the people. Say what's up to the people.
What's happening, y'all? Y'all know what it is. Let's get it popping, man. Y'all know what time it is.
All right, y'all. All right. So to start the season, it has been a bit crazy, so to say, down there in Tampa. Tom Brady, he was away from the team for 11 days in the preseason. It's been shaky to start. He's been missing walkthroughs, attending weddings for former team owners. And it's just not looking good down there in Tampa. So my question to y'all is it time to panic down there in Tampa? I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Ronnie. Is it time to panic in Tampa?
I definitely think so. I think with all the distractions of family life and all that stuff going on with them, they're not putting up points. I know we went through it the first year when he got there. They struggled a little bit at the beginning and put up some and got it together and actually won a Super Bowl. But he wasn't having family distractions and none of that stuff though. That was just football gelling and stuff like that. But the Bucks so far and Rams have been a big disappointment. I mean, the Bucks, on their schedule left, they have the Ravens. They still have to play the Rams, Seahawks, Browns, Saints, Bengals, Cards, Panthers, who they already lost to, and Falcons left on the schedule. And the Rams ain't doing, good either. It's like that's the most craziness about this year. And and the Rams have 49ers, Cards, Saints, Chiefs, Seahawks, Raiders, and Packers and Broncos left, and Chargers. That's at least 4 more losses I see on both of those teams. So yeah, it's definitely time to panic down there. And then out of the NFC, you better start panicking because you got the Eagles who are 0-6, and on their schedule, it don't look like they got any more losses coming. You may say they might lose to the Cowboys or maybe the Giants because they're divisional games, but that's the only ones I'm gonna give you left on the schedule. So we're looking at Tampa and Rams. If they do get it together, they might be having to go against the number 1 seed down there in Eagles up in that weather. So yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be. I think it's time to start panicking in Tampa and in LA. It's my opinion.
Okay.
Good take.
Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with you that it probably is time to panic down there in Tampa. And the reason, there's no cohesion right now with their offense. The best player on that offense right now seems to be Leonard Fournette. He's still been,
Evans.
the most consistent. You got Mike Evans out there, but like in terms of that offensive line, though, they're struggling to keep Tom upright in that pocket. They're struggling to also kind of run the ball. They're not scoring well. I think last time I checked, the Buccaneers were actually a worse scoring team than the Bears. So when you got a better roster and you scoring less than the Bears, there's a bit of an issue there.
And we timestamped this. Carneal betting against Tom Brady. I never thought I'd hear the day that Carneal goes against Tom Brady.
I'm not betting against Tom, and I'm not doubting that they can't figure it out. But what I am saying is that it's time for them to wake up and do something. So I guess I'm saying it's time to panic in the sense that they need to figure it out, and they need to figure it out fast, or else come week 17, week 18, you're gonna find Tom in a position where he fighting to just make the wild card spot, which is something you haven't seen rarely. Even the last two seasons in Tampa, he wasn't fighting for a wild card spot. You knew they were gonna make the playoffs. So it's like if they don't figure it out fast, it got to come down to some of them last games of the year. It's gonna be kind of tough, and we're gonna see, Tom and the Buccaneers in a position they haven't seen in the last few years, finding themselves fighting for maybe like the second to last or even the last playoff spot. So they got to do something. They got to do it fast. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to you, Mike. What do you think? Is it time to panic in Tampa or no?
Definitely panic time. Definitely panic time. But I think for them it's more panic time because they need to plan for their future, man. That's what they panic is. I pretty much still see them making the playoffs kind of regardless because their defense solid. They've been holding down. I mean, they had a couple slip ups, but for the most part, they've been holding it down. Teams ain't getting off on them like that. So their defense gonna be there, and they gonna keep them in games pretty much every game. And you keep Tom in the game, he gonna find a way to win. So I mean, in terms of playoffs, they'll be there. I'm pretty certain, but I think it's time to panic in terms of what they're going to do in the playoffs because this is not a team that can make it out the first round offensively. I mean, they Fournette there, but he not there every week. Same thing with Mike Evans, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it got to do with the protection. So they got to figure that out, as do the Rams with the protection. It seems like a lot of teams is having protection problems this year. And you could definitely see where that's costing them that.
You know what? I agree with that too. There are a lot of teams having protection issues this year that like we kind of didn't see, and then there's teams who are having great O-line play that we probably wouldn't have expected from them. But like prime example, the New York Giants. Nobody saw the Giants being 6-1 to this point in the season and rolling like they are.
On my Giants jersey.
Like nobody saw the Giants being 6-1, looking like a top 3 team in the NFC right now. Nobody in their wildest dreams, besides maybe like diehard Giants fans. And I'm talking about like real, like diehard Giants fans, kind of like how we are Bears fans, that would expect them to be 6-1. So, it's been very surprising. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead.
You see the Giants fan, the other Giants fan you made smile down there. That boy face lit up when you said that.
Hey man, look, y'all already know how I feel, bro. As long as Saquon healthy, bro, they winning. You feel me? My only question been what Saquon health gonna be.
But he also realistic, and I know for a fact he didn't see them being no 6-1 to start this season. There's no way he predicted that too. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Chris. Chris, what do you think? Is it time to panic in Tampa?
Well, I'm Chris, by the way, everybody, since I didn't get to do my intro.
I knew that was
Bear
coming.
down all day. But anyway, I think it is time to panic for Tom Brady because, to me, I think Tom, he should have listened to the wife and stayed in retirement. She told him don't come back to play. And ever since he came back to play and decided he was going to, go against her wishes and just be Tom, it's been bad. It's been bad. It's been bad. They can't protect him. He looked like, I don't know, him and that guy, number 12, that other number 12 in the green uniform, they look like two high school dudes. They look really, really bad. They look bad throwing the ball. They getting sacked. It's like, I don't know. So I think it is time to panic. And I agree. And to bounce off what Mike said, I think Tampa do need to start preparing for their future because, Tommy is getting up there in age. They still got receivers in the middle of their prime. They still got some pieces, but they do need to start looking at the future as a quarterback because that defense is only going to be solid because they veterans too. It's a bunch of veterans on that defense, so that defense can only be solid for maybe 2-3 more years before that team goes into a complete rebuild. So absolutely it is time to panic, and they need to figure it out real soon or they're going to be scrapping for the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, go back to what Ronnie said. Are they going to be strong enough to take on one of them top seeded teams? Can they come in the playoffs and beat a Giants team? Can they come in the playoffs and beat the Eagles team? And right now, I don't think so. So I think Tom is trending down right now, and I agree. They need to figure it out, and they need to start focusing on the future because Tom's time is coming to an end, and that's my take.
You know what? It's funny that I'm probably gonna say this, but the Packers still don't look as bad as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like the Bucks look bad. The Packers have been losing, but they are still managing to put up at least 3 touchdowns a game. The Buccaneers have been struggling to do even that.
Bro, they lost to Washington, bro.
I give you that point.
We lost to Washington.
We are not a good football team.
We both 3 and 4, us and the Packers.
Well, Tom shouldn't look as bad as Aaron Rodgers because Tom has the better receivers. Aaron Rodgers ain't got no receivers, so I can expect Aaron Rodgers looking bad, but not
Tom
TB12.
Has one receiver. All you got is Mike Evans right now. Godwin ain't been playing.
He still got Fournette. He still got a backfield. He still got more weapons than. He got more weapons than. He got more weapons than Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers still got a backfield. He got
Aaron Rodgers got a good backfield.
What you mean? He got the same. They got the same weapons.
Well, the Bucks do have Godwin. It's just that when Godwin gets the ball, Brady's doing it at his legs or behind him. That's why Godwin hasn't been looking like the Godwin we know and love.
Godwin also been hurt. He ain't been out there every game.
He didn't play the last couple weeks.
He was hurt in the first couple of weeks, but when he came back, I mean,
not 100% though.
You can look at the tape. And it's not his fault.
He got hurt. He got hurt coming back from a whole ACL, bro. That man is not healthy.
Not 100%.
If he's not healthy, why is he out there?
And to be honest though, Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked like himself either. I do agree with you about Tom having probably more weapons, but there's been a lot of plays that Aaron Rodgers has messed up on too. He's thrown behind his players. He's had a dude open deep, and he decided to check down. He's not trusting the rookie receivers, I guess, deep, and he's checking down, and he's sometimes throwing behind them. So he's not looking the same, and I don't think he's looking as bad as Tom Brady. But they both looking like retirement should be on their mind. If the situation don't change, if the team situation don't change, retirement should be on both of their minds. Be honest.
I hear you, but I gotta get on Mike's side. I'm on Mike's side with this. Y'all. I'm not go. I know y'all saying Aaron Rodgers playing bad. I'm not giving him a pass either, because
I wasn't
He
giving
lost
him a
three.
pass. Oh no,
He lost.
I
He
definitely
lost
wasn't giving
three.
Aaron Rodgers a pass.
He lost three straight. And listen to the names he lost: Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, and P.J. Walker.
Hey man. The Jets and the Giants are like the
Yeah, but the
kings in New
Jets and the
York
Giants
right
is
now.
balling.
The Giants
Giants
are
is
six
balling.
and one. The Jets
But
are
I'm just
5
talking
and
about.
2.
I'm just talking about quarterback play. When you got Aaron Rodgers going up against those guys, come on.
But you got to look at Aaron Rodgers' supporting cast. He has
Sam
nothing but.
Darnold was the number 2 pick in the draft.
We got
Daniel
to talk.
Jones was top 10.
As Devin would say, only thing Aaron Rodgers has right now is Randall Cobb, and he's
Bro,
doing nothing.
Why are y'all so disrespectful to Aaron Jones like that? I
Aaron
don't
Jones is
understand.
an awesome running
Aaron
back,
Jones,
especially passing,
Aaron
Not
catching the
just
ball
Jones
out
is
the
a
backfield.
receiver.
Well, if you
they
look at the next,
got the
if
rookie. They got the rookie Romeo Dubs out there balling too. Like he's solid.
Lazard supposed to be their number one for real.
And
they
For real.
Lazard
inconsistent,
getting all their
they
touchdowns.
I already said Lazard wasn't. But I said this coming into the season though when we did a show that Alan Lazard is the true number one, and that this Packers receiving core was gonna struggle. I called
and
it
we
coming
ain't
into the season.
dissing Aaron Jones. It's
Yeah,
just that the fact that sometimes he don't get the ball because that's Aaron Rodgers' team, and Aaron Rodgers want to stand back there and throw it about 45 times a game. So they don't
Well,
run enough. They don't run the
let me
ball
answer that
nearly.
question. Well, let me answer that question for you, bro. I totally agree with what you're saying with Aaron Rodgers. Who's to blame for that?
Aaron
Is it
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers? No, not
Aaron
at all.
Rodgers.
Not at all.
Aaron
Not
Rodgers
He
at
not
gonna put it
calling
on
the
all.
the floor. He
plays.
gonna say it's the
Aaron
floor.
Rodgers
Aaron
is
Rodgers
to
not calling
blame
the
Matt,
for the
plays.
reason Devontae Adams left.
I'm not
Aaron
talking
Rodgers
about
not
Devontae Adams'
calling the
league.
plays.
Matt LaFleur.
Exactly.
Matt LaFleur.
But Aaron Rodgers should be going up there getting his Peyton Manning on with the Omaha. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is do some Omahas. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta look at it like this too. If you got receivers when you first come out the gate dropping open seam passes, open touchdown passes, you lose confidence. So how can you trust a read and know and think that okay, these rookie receivers know how I want them to run this route? He don't have
Mm-hmm.
that confidence. That's why he's not taking that normal shot
So,
or he's throwing it into coverage like
why
shit.
are they not running the
He's
ball?
hesitating. He's hesitating. They're not running the ball because of Matt LaFleur. That's stupid. I agree
They
with you.
not running the ball because that offensive line not getting that push.
What are you talking about? Every time they actually ran the ball, Green Bay
They was
did great.
averaging like 6 a carry. They averaged like
Yeah.
6 a carry.
They were. But if you look at these last couple weeks, Aaron Jones did all his damage through like the quick passing game and screens and stuff because they have not been getting that push up front. Because I think they done lost some linemen. Some of their linemen started going down.
So with the Green Bay games, the first half they would run the ball. Second half, it's like they move away from the run. I don't know why, but they have.
What is
You know,
that?
But
same thing with the Bears. Same thing with the Bears. They'll start off running, and then, well, except for this game, they'll start off running, and then you see Justin Fields just heaving the ball everywhere.
But I'm gonna go ahead and go to Marcus real quick. Is it time to press the panic button in Tampa?
No, I learned my lesson already betting against Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not going to.
Good point.
He's not going to let that happen. Yeah, they look bad. However, the games they lost was not bad, except for the Panthers and the game he threw for. He only threw it 8 times against the Colts. So the other losses wasn't good, and it was against great defenses. So I wouldn't, and the game would have been much different with the Panthers if Evans would have caught that deep ball. I think the game would have went much different. But it's game of momentum. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't panic. He might need to take a leave of absence to get his home fixed and then come back to the game. And Bucks, they do need to. Well, they should have already been looking forward to another quarterback for next season and moving forward. But it's Tom Brady. I wouldn't put too much stock into panicking and all that bull job because he's not going to let it happen. we've been here before. I'm not gonna say we because I'm not a Tom Brady fan like that. We've been here
You
before.
said it right, Marcus. We've been here before.
He's been there before, and he's the GOAT. I admit he's the GOAT over my guy Joe
Wow.
Montana. So
Wow. We
there's
got to
no
pass that both of them. Marcus
there's
said
no need to
he's the
panic.
GOAT.
That's all I'm saying. It's Tom freaking Brady. Because that's every time I lose a bet against him, it's Tom freaking Brady. So I'm
I
one bet
feel
against
you,
him.
brother.
You're not gonna catch me with that transition.
Tom terrific. Let's see if Tom could be terrific the rest of this year and get it together. But David, let me get your thoughts. Is it time to press the panic button in Tampa?
Absolutely. It is panic time in Tampa. However you want to call it, Tampa, we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. Real quick to add on to what Marcus to say back what something Marcus said. Take a leave of absence. If Tom Brady takes a leave of absence, they ain't got no shot. Because you know what their backup is? Blaine Gabbert, and they already losing now. They will have to go to Blaine Gabbert. So no,
They definitely not making the playoffs.
he can't afford to leave. I know what you were saying, because of course everything starts from home first. I totally understand where he was coming from with that, but no, if he leaves, that's totally. But
Well, that's like having Mike Glennon. That's like having Glennon.
Real quick. Every time Bruce Arians get a chance, he always praises Blaine Gabbert. I might have to
anyway,
trust coach.
but anyway, I will say something you touched on there. I have it right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and address it. Actually, Tampa Bay, they similar, but they actually offensive wise and points wise are better than the Bears. I know you mentioned it earlier. Right now, Tampa Bay is 21st ranked offense. The Bears are at 29. So, and Tampa Bay's averaging 2 points more than the Bears are right now. Just to answer that question. But,
Okay.
Maybe not after this week.
Okay.
Yeah, but after the game today, that's probably
right there.
But yeah.
I knew the Buccaneers were a higher ranked offense, but they still had scored more than us. Like it was saying. I guess it must have changed between the last couple weeks, but before it was saying the Buccaneers were not scoring as much as the Bears. But when it comes to quarterbacks having a hard time scoring this year and just doing everything in general, there's another veteran quarterback down in Indianapolis who was just benched earlier today, says that it should be for the remainder of the season, and Matt Ryan. We saw Aaron Rodgers just come back this offseason, signed an extension. I think it was for 2 years. I think it was for 2 years, and then Tom Brady came back for 1 more year. But my question is this an end of era for older veteran quarterbacks? Like, is the league turning over, and is it about to be a whole new swing, a generation of quarterback once these 3 go? We already see, we already got the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens of the world. But, those 3 are like the last of an era. Like, those are the last, like, 3 standard, play in the pocket, try and make all the on time throws, and not do as much off schedule stuff as we see a lot more, as we see a lot of these other quarterbacks do. So, just my question is this an end of an era? Let's go ahead and start with you, Marcus. Is this an end of an era?
Yes, it is the end of their era because all you see is injuries, and you can see the decline of the veteran quarterbacks. It's not the end of the pocket passing quarterbacks because you still have the Justin Herberts and Joe Burrows of the league.
Right. No, I'm not. I wasn't saying it was the end of pocket passing, but I'm saying like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are still like they're among like the new age quarterbacks who do a lot more of that off schedule stuff. They just do a lot more of it. Like they aren't as afraid. Well, not necessarily afraid, but like they are
They get
they'll
out the
break the
pocket.
pocket. Right.
Right.
They aren't scared to break the pocket at any given time.
That's true. And you got to remember, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan, when they had younger legs, they used to get out that pocket too. Maybe run about 5-6 yards, but they got out that pocket. But
12 still do it. AR-12 still do it from time to time.
I
It's
will
He get
say
up out
this:
there.
it's different though. But
you
go
can
ahead.
tell it's the end of the new era with the old era, because these young quarterbacks are breaking records right now, and they're only in a like what, fourth, maybe fifth year, and they're breaking records
That's
already.
what I'm saying. Like some of them ain't even hit double digit years in the league yet. And they already doing phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's why Tom Brady hasn't retired yet, because he sees that he want to stay on top. So he probably might play another 4-5 years just to make sure Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert don't break them records.
You say he gonna die in his jersey, huh? You say they gonna have to
Yeah.
rip the jersey off of him.
Hey, if it's
Hey,
up to time, yeah.
The new NFL logo gonna be Tom Brady.
You see, the man was already willing to break up his family for football, bro. The man told his wife, I'm Tom, I'm playing football. Fuck what he talking about. He told
So
Giselle, I'm playing football.
that's my take on it. Yeah, it's the end of the era.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, David. David, is this an end of an era?
Yeah, it's the end of the era. The new age is already here. The records have already been getting set and getting shattered. So, and when you look at it, all three of them who you mentioned, they all have a value because the way all three of them have been playing, they might as well retire tomorrow because how bad all three of them been playing, and it wouldn't be a surprise because that's just how bad they've been playing. So it's the new era, new age in the NFL. I'm excited to see it because there's a lot of explosiveness going on. These quarterbacks have arms, and these quarterbacks have receivers that can make plays. So yeah, to answer the question, yes, the end of that era.
I'm gonna go
Thank you for
ahead.
their service, though.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to you, Mike. Mike, is this the end of an era for quarterbacks?
Definitely.
At least for that era.
It definitely. It started, you know what I'm saying, 2-3 years ago with Phil and Ben and Eli, you know what I'm saying, all of them. And now you got, the last couple remain, and you got Matt, you got Rodgers, you got Brady, you know what I'm saying? But so and like my man's pointed out, they all having bad years, you know what I'm saying? A lot of it is kind of, based on their styles. Because if they teams can't create that space for them, then what can they do?
Should we
But
add your boy Pat Stafford to that list too?
but not quite, not quite. He a little younger, so he gonna be around for like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? But he getting there though. He getting there. He wanted them. He just at the at the tail end of that era. So you know what I'm saying, you gonna have to deal with him for about 2, 3, 4 years probably. But them, hey man, I wouldn't be surprised if they last year, all of them. I think Rodgers got the best chance of coming back just because it's Green Bay and it's
Yeah, he
Rodgers.
signed right. He signed that 2 year extension.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
I feel
I
you.
wouldn't be surprised if he just walked away on them. I mean, that would have surprised me at all. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I think it is the end of that era coming, especially since the next being up is all different kinds of quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? They all mobile, move the pocket around, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's your, Mahomes, Herbert, Josh Allen, Lamar, stuff like that. So, but really, with the end of an era coming and the new era coming in, it makes me wonder, when is this type of era going to roll back around? Because it's going to come eventually. It ain't going to be the same. Quarterback's always going to be, more mobile for the most part now. But it's gonna roll back around. You gonna have your pocket passers who come in and hold it down. You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder how long for them come and who next up. We don't got a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple that's there, but not too many. So we don't see.
All right, I feel that. I feel that. Let's let's go ahead and move on to Ronnie. Ronnie, man, is this an end of an era for Mr. Matthew Stafford, Thomas Brady, and Aaron Rodgers?
I think most
How about
definitely.
Matt Stafford?
Most
Matt
definitely.
Ryan?
I'm sorry.
I'm just
Matt
saying.
Wright. You might
Hey, he did
as
that
well
on
add
purpose. He
Stafford
threw
there
it.
too. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
we gonna throw
Matt
Oh man,
Stafford.
he
Ryan.
did. Like
Matt
I
Ryan.
could put. I
bro.
could put.
Don't
You
try to
could.
throw that. Don't
If
try
you
to throw
look.
that man in that conversation.
If you honestly look at how the season's going for the Rams, for Brady, and for Green Bay, the
Green
offensive line,
Bay
the
and the
offensive lines
Colts.
has been atrocious. So when it
For
comes
all
time to
those teams.
playoffs times, they're gonna be facing either the Eagles with a tremendous pass rush. They're gonna be facing either the Cowboys, who also could probably sneak in, and they're gonna have a tremendous pass rush. Not saying off, but every time Brady has been put out the playoffs, it's been the team that freaking knocked him on his butt all the time, and that's who he's gonna
That's
be
fact.
facing. Offensive line is terrible. Aaron Rodgers is hitting the floor more times than over the last couple years. And Matthew Stafford sure as hell ain't playing like he used to play. If we talking about if something don't get corrected in LA, Matthew Stafford can be added to that list because he's had more injuries than all of them, really. To be honest with you, been played through hurt and all that stuff with back problems and stuff like that, and now he's had the elbow problem. But if those teams don't get that offensive line fixed, they're gonna make an early exit if they do make the playoffs. That's what and I think that's gonna weigh on them and like look at their situations and be like, how can you drastically fix any of those situations? Aaron Rodgers with all rookie receivers, Tom Brady already 52 and playing football, so he could go home anytime. He could go home. With his family issues. So it's definitely an end of era for those guys, especially Matty Ice. He's
Oh yeah, he done.
he's done. He shouldn't never get. And then I know he's not as old, but you need to throw Carson Wentz's butt up in there too. He need to freaking go home. He need to go to the house. I
Yeah.
don't think he might could be a third string somewhere, but he needs to go to the house. He needs and stay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my opinion.
What's the disrespect though, Carson Wentz, man?
That's
Okay,
that's your quarterback.
okay. The one
That's your
thing,
quarterback.
He's been
the one
trash,
thing,
bro.
the one thing I will say about Carson Wentz is that his time as a starter is done. Okay, Carson Wentz should be a backup. I won't say he needs to be out of the league, but Carson Wentz time as a starter is done. All he is, bro, all he is just a Mitchell Trubisky with slightly better passing numbers, bro. And I wanted Mitch to get it together down there in Pittsburgh. But the fact that Mitch was still having some of them same problems, you see him. Like Mitch wasn't turning the ball over, but you watch Carson Wentz play, and it's like you want to have a heart attack every time you watch Carson Wentz play. He's reckless with his body. He's reckless with the ball. He don't he wants to win, but it always comes at the expense of himself or his team. Like that's the one thing about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz needs to probably take a year or two off, go sit behind somebody, and figure out how to be a starting QB again.
Bro,
He's just trying to push
Gino
it too
got a
much.
starting spot, bro. Y'all trying to say
Hey,
Carson done
Gino
as a
looking better
starter?
than Carson right now. I'm
Gino,
sorry. He's
Gino,
looking better than
yes.
Carson.
Right
Gino
now,
balling.
yes. Y'all wasn't saying this 4-5 years ago. Y'all wasn't even saying this last year. You see what I'm
that's
saying?
because Gino
So
was a
don't act
backup,
like
He
okay?
ain't getting no time. Gino
don't act
want to get
like
no tick
Carson.
though, bro.
Don't act
Only
like Carson.
way,
You know what I'm saying? Don't act like Carson ain't gonna have a starting spot, bro.
only
What?
reason Gino is snapping off because he don't have a lot of expectations. That's
Real quick. My fault,
Carson
Marcus.
holds
Go
on
ahead.
to the ball entirely too long. He always wants to go. That's why he's one of the most quarterbacks with high yards. because he's only throwing the ball deep. He holds the ball and he gets sacked all the time because he don't know how to throw nothing but a long
But,
ball. And then sometimes he's erratic with it and he just throws right into the defense's hands, basically.
but I don't know if it's me speaking as an Eagles fan, but Carson Wentz has no business being on anybody's roster, especially if Cam Newton can't be on anybody's roster. That's all I gotta say.
We don't want to talk about him.
Are
But
you serious?
can I have a couple stuff announcement real quick? The city, our neighborhood, us Chicagoans, our neighborhood, our neighbors in Indianapolis. I feel sorry for y'all. If Andrew Luck screwed y'all because ever since Andrew Luck retired, every year they have had 3 different quarterbacks. They went Andrew Luck, then they went to Phillip Rivers, then they went to Carson Wentz, and now they with Matt Ryan, and they had a great team, but the quarterback players was hurting them so much. I apologize to you, Indianapolis. Y'all gotta go draft somebody.
David.
I was
real quick on that point. Phil Rivers was the only one of them quarterbacks since Andrew Luck to get that team to the playoffs. They missed it with Carson Wentz. They about to miss it now with Matt Ryan.
I was in Indy for them years. Let me tell you, don't blame Andrew Luck for that. You blame the coach
Andrew Luck
for that.
was getting slaughtered, bro.
You blame exactly.
Did you
don't blame
Did you see how
Andrew
they was
Luck
tackling
for
that
saving
man?
his life?
I know you have seen that. I know you have seen that picture of Andrew Luck, bro, where a defensive end is on his back, bro.
Yes.
Got his arms and legs wrapped around that man, bro. Like, you can't blame Andrew Luck for that, bro. If I was getting tackled like that, I would probably retire too, bro. Y'all not finna keep tackling me like that, bro.
That was every week.
No,
that was every week.
Well, maybe y'all misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not saying he ain't. He screwed it in a sense where
when he did it, his timing was bogus.
His timing was bogus.
Because he literally did that right before the first week of the regular season, bro.
Yeah.
Preseason over with.
Yeah, I'm not trying to attack Andrew Luck at all. I guess, like I said, let me reinterpret. What I mean by screwing them is because by not giving them a chance to even go consider drafting one. Because now the past 3 years since he's been gone, they've been stuck with veterans. They've been stuck with veterans every year. They had, like I said, they went from Andrew Luck and they went to go get Phillip Rivers 1 year. Next year they go get Carson Wentz 1 year. Next year this year they stuck with Matt Ryan. Who y'all gonna go get next? So yeah,
they not going to go get nobody next.
He been gone for more than 2 years. He been gone for more than 2 years, and they had a chance to draft the QB. They had a chance to draft the QB, and they didn't. Jacoby Brissett stepped in when Andrew Luck was gone,
winning games. And that was the problem. Jacoby Brissett stepped in, and he started winning them games, bro. And and they had too good of a record to get a decent draft pick.
No. They still had a decent pick and didn't pick a quarterback, bro. What you mean? Like, they definitely could have picked. They could have picked Lamar Jackson, bro. What you mean? Like, what the man set the whole first round, bro? I'm not trying to hear that. They didn't want no quarterback. That's on them. They did that to themselves, and they did that to themselves by not protecting the one quarterback they had. They tried to do it with Peyton Manning too. You remember when he was out there getting blasted like that?
That's why he ended up in Denver.
They go run out and go get Cooper Rush, and they go think he's their savior.
No, they not. They put their future and their hopes in the Sam Ellinger. That's exactly why he's going to start.
They're going to go get Mike Glennon. Watch. Mike Glennon going to be the next veteran.
They drafted a quarterback. It's that dude, Sam. Even though he's in the late round.
I'm telling you.
They
Sam Ellinger was
and they finna ride with him at least throughout the season and maybe draft another quarterback if it presents itself. But if not, they finna ride with this dude and hope that he could save them. Hope.
But back to the original question, because I still got one person to hear from. Chris, is this an end of an era for Mr. Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers?
I'll say I got actually a two-part answer. I'd say yes, it's because of their age, and the way the game has changed, the way the rules has changed, even though they favor the quarterbacks. Those dudes are phasing out. But I think I wouldn't say end of an era because we've always had kind of off script quarterbacks. There's always been quarterbacks, a few quarterbacks who
But
had some
not
legs.
like
They
not
wasn't
like
on
this
top.
though.
Not like this.
They
Not
wasn't
like
on
this
top
though,
though.
Chris.
The
It's
one that's on
literally
top is the mobile and the move the pocket type. They wasn't on top. When the era that they had, they was all on top. You see what I'm saying? All them dudes
Yeah.
on top every year, basically.
Yeah, but that's what I was getting to. Like, I feel like we always kind of had some mobile quarterbacks. Maybe they wasn't as effective throwing the ball all the time, but we did have some good legs. His legs have always been around. But as far as those pure just pocket passes, I think yes, that time is over with. Like, I think you have to be at least able to scramble to be a quarterback now, and as well as throw the ball because it's the game has changed, the rules has changed. Even though they favor the quarterback, you got to lay the quarterback down. You can't hit the quarterback real hard. You still got to be able to move and run, or else you gonna get you can't just stand back there in the pocket because no offensive line can truly protect a pocket passer because, that's why all of them got to run because I guess linemen are getting worse maybe, but nobody can just truly just stand in the pocket, have 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds to throw the ball. That just don't happen no more. You got somebody rushing you, teams blitzes now. So all that standing in the pocket, yes, that era is definitely over. And, you got to have some legs as a quarterback. Now that's got to be a requirement. You got to be able to get up and do some of that all script stuff. You ain't going to make it, i.e. Andrew Luck, i.e. Carson Wentz. You're going to get broke up because you can't move. So that era is definitely over.
And Luck used to move, bro. He was still getting.
Andrew Luck could move. It
Andrew
wasn't
Luck used to
about the
move.
fact
Good.
that Andrew Luck
Not
could
when
move.
them injuries started piling up, bro. He became a statue back there when them injuries. When they got that back, bro, he was a statue back there, bro. He couldn't move no more, bro. When they took his back,
He was already broke up. You talking about like his last year, but he retired. That's why he
yeah, that's what
retired.
I'm saying, bro. When they started breaking him up, them legs, he couldn't get out that pocket no more, bro. He
Like
killed.
y'all, but these players come in, bro, taking the most hits for 5, 6+ years, bro, and y'all expect it to continue, bro. Andrew Luck was the most sacked quarterback for years, like multiple years, bro. Of
And
course,
Joe
he gonna
Burrow finna
retire.
take that title.
The most sack, the most hit, all of that. He was taking hits. Same thing with these running backs, bro. Derrick Henry, bro, they getting 200 carries a game and stuff. Of course, he gonna get hurt. What you mean? Todd Gurley, he was getting 200 carries a game. They blew his knees out. Like that's that's what happens when you run these players' bodies in. Christian McCaffrey, you see him, he was getting 200 carries a game.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck did have a bit of that Justin Fields where sometimes because of his talent, he was holding that ball too long. And then you know what happened when you hold the ball too long? Somebody waiting to blast you. And I'm glad they changed the rules because, quarterbacks now don't get hit like Andrew Luck used to get hit. Like Andrew Luck used to get they don't get hit like you got to lay a quarterback down. Now you can't hit him. You can't just tee off a quarterback.
You can't be jumping on that man back like that.
You acting like Justin Fields will get laid out.
Hey.
Justin
real
Fields
quick.
get laid out because he dived head first into defenders. Like
No. There are plenty of times when Justin Fields will throw the ball, bro. Ball is clearly gone, bro. They are letting defenders just load off on Justin Fields, bro. They do not throw that rough in the passer, bro. There are so many plays where defenders will be at least 3 steps away by the time Justin Fields has gotten rid of the ball. You're supposed to be within 1 step. If you're within 1 step, you get to hit the quarterback. If you take more than 1 step in your pursuit to hit the quarterback, it is now considered roughing the passer. So the fact that they're just letting these linebackers literally run from the line of scrimmage, the ball is gone, bro. They are just tagging Justin Fields. They not throwing the flag. They have got to start calling that.
Justin Fields is a smart quarterback.
I'll give you a perfect example. The screen last night's game, the screen pass he threw to Herbert for the touchdown.
Yeah.
What they don't show, he
when
got
smacked by them 2 defenders.
He got sandwiched after that play. That could have been a roughing call. So
But
I
at
see
the
what you're
same
saying.
time, I think the league personally got something against Justin because his draft stock. Because I heard at draft day somebody snitched and said he had a medical condition. That's why his draft stock dropped. Like because it was came out he had epilepsy or he had a seizure or something like that. Some shit that came out about Justin, and that's what made his draft stock. Like they said, a chick had reported some shit like right before the draft.
His draft stock was dropping leading up to the draft, bro. Trey Lance and Mac Jones, the hype around them was dropping Justin Fields' draft stock way before draft day or even it was getting close to draft time. They was disrespecting that man. Even I was saying it, bro. I said Trevor Lawrence was number one and Justin Fields should have been number two in that draft. I always felt like that. And then not just that, Zach Wilson, the same thing. Zach Wilson came through, stole his thunder. Like I literally like all
I'm
three
not
of them.
a fan of him.
All three of them quarterbacks came through, but I did say them was the two best quarterbacks in
Yeah,
college
I mean
that year,
you can see
and
the
they should have
talent.
went 1 and 2.
You can see the talent, but it is what it is.
And but speaking of talent and teams with talent, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers and the fact that they made a trade on Thursday night during the game, mind you. This was during the game. They reported this live on Amazon Prime stream, like live TV. Christian McCaffrey has been traded to the San Francisco 49ers for, I think it was like 3 or 4 draft picks. And now the question is, should the 49ers be favored to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl? I'm going to go ahead and start with Chris. Should the 49ers be favored to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl?
It definitely put them close because like that just gave them another weapon if he could stay healthy, because I could see like they already had Debo and they was already using Debo as a receiver, a running back, damn near sometimes a tight end. Debo might throw the ball. Now they got CMC, a dude that get them another elite person in the backfield, but can also be dangerous catching the ball. Like you got two creative players pretty much on your offense. Dudes, you could just line them up anywhere. Yeah, so I think they're going to be a threat. I don't know if I could just give it to them because they still got some holes, I think, on the defense. Their defense is inconsistent, but that offense definitely opens up, and that running game going to be, like, unstoppable. I think their running game just became the most unstoppable running attack because you can give it to Debo. You can give it to CMC. You can do reverses. You can do all kind of fakes and trick plays because who gonna cover? Who gonna stop either one of them dudes one-on-one? Nobody. Like, they are a nightmare. They are a nightmare for anybody because they can line up all over the field, bro. You can put them in the backfield. You can put both of them in the backfield at the same time. You don't know who gonna get the ball. Fake screens. You can fake a screen on one side, throw a pass to one. Like, and you don't even need an elite quarterback. That's the thing. Jimmy Garoppolo ain't even an elite quarterback, but with weapons like that, they can make anybody look good. So I definitely think they're going to be a big threat. I ain't going to give it to them yet because I think they still need more improved quarterback play, but they going to definitely be that when it's all said and done. They will definitely be that.
I agree with you. I don't think it make them the favorite. I don't think it make them the favorite, but I do think it put them at least top 3 favorite in the NFC. They at least top 3 favorite. At least top 3. Okay. Yeah. Number one, at this point in the season, I can't say later in the season. You got to see how it come along. But just based off of what we know about San Fran and how at any point in time in the season they get hot, they go on them runs, and they make it to the NFC Championship game. They've done it two out of the last 4 years.
With a running back with a receiver at running back, mind you, with their receiver being like their best running back.
So you know I feel like once everything comes to form and they find their rhythm, I think the 49ers are gonna be all right. I think they're gonna be all right. Like I said, I think it put them in a conversation. I don't think it make them the favorite to win. You ask me right now, I still got the Eagles coming out the NFC. But speaking of the Eagles, I'm gonna go ahead and give it over to our resident Eagles fan, Mr. Marcus. What do you think about the 49ers? Does this make them a favorite to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl?
First off, Chris needs a history lesson in the San Francisco defense. They are the number
I
one.
said be inconsistent. I ain't saying it wasn't good. They've been inconsistent.
Why are you inconsistent in number one? Huh?
They weren't number one. I think the Patriots defense was number one.
Nope.
San Francisco is the number one defense. That's one. Two, congratulations, San Francisco. You just got another injury-prone running back. So, no, this is not making a contender.
What if he don't get hurt?
It gives you another good running back that you run your running schemes with. It does make the RPO more dangerous. However, you still got Wilson back there still running for 100-something yards already. You really don't need McCaffrey. I mean, hopefully.
But you know, that's Mike Shanahan. He want all the running backs. He want all the people that could possibly do something in the running game. That's their offense.
That's Kyle Shanahan. Mike is his dad.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's Kyle.
And just like people in fantasy football try to grab up all the running backs and they still lose. So that's how I'm looking at this. He got great running backs, but it doesn't make your team better. You just got another injury-prone running back. And say that he gets hurt again, you right back to square one with Wilson. Because Elijah Mitchell, he's not going to right? Or is he coming back?
He's still on IR.
Okay, but it doesn't make them a Super Bowl contender for me. Not even top three.
He got Debo though. It's him and Debo. If he don't get hurt, him and Debo is nice.
They've been had Debo, and without Christian McCaffrey, they were still in a good place. It doesn't shift the line with them adding Christian McCaffrey. All it does is just make their RPO a little bit scary. That's it. Because I mean, not even that. Because Garoppolo can't even freaking run. So what? You open up the play action. You did that with Wilson. I mean, it's nothing that's changing with San Francisco, especially with them being top tier defense and a great running offense. But that's just me. That's just my thoughts. And that's all I gotta say about that. Go Eagles, fly Eagles, fly.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off. I'm going to pass it off to Mike. Mike, does this Christian McCaffrey trade make the 49ers the favorites to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl?
Nah. I know they wish it did, but like Marcus said, man, they in the same boat. You got you another injury-prone running back. You got you another, you know what I'm saying? Another running back that don't know gonna make it through the end. You still got this quarterback that y'all been skeptical of for the past 3-4 years, because the person y'all tried to get the keys to is hurt. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can't say it's a step in the right direction, but it's a step in a direction. I don't know which one quite yet. But I mean, I can't say they're the favorites, man. The team is nice, but they can't get over.
I think they're a quarterback away, honestly. But do y'all think he better than they other backs? Is he better than is he better than the other backs they got, or is he the same?
Of course, he is better than the other backs. Yes, I won't put that against him. Yes, he is the best. However, Wilson is really good. I like Wilson because he fits in this.
I like him too. I got him.
It's like McCaffrey, like Mike said, it moves him in a direction, but we don't know if it's going forward or not because what did you really do? And yes, they are one quarterback away. I agree with you on that as well. One quarterback away. Once you go out and get your quarterback, because the guy that took you to the Super Bowl or to the,
They did get their quarterback. Their quarterback is now out for the season.
I mean, but Garoppolo took them to Super Bowls. So if you don't have trust in the quarterback that'll take you to the Super Bowl, then what are you looking for, really?
And that's what I'm.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point.
What they looking for is somebody who they can win games because of, not win games with. That's what they want in their quarterback.
The guy that took the knee. That's what that's what that offense was really built for. The guy that took the knee. The guy that took the knee.
Don't get me wrong. For as much as I like Colin Kaepernick, he still was a quarterback you could win with and not because of. And we saw that happen on numerous occasions. Like,
I don't know, but he did. He won them playoff games. I can't say that playoff run he went on. He won them games.
Yeah,
He won.
yeah,
He won.
But they,
but
they also had a stout
he had a Tim
defense though.
Tebow run.
They also had a stout defense though. I know y'all remember.
Yeah, we won the defense, but he put points on the board though. Kaepernick was on that playoff run. That was some of his best football. I ain't gonna even stunt. That playoff run was his best football.
But you got to think about it. When they made it to the Super Bowl, he was also the person that coached them too. Just like Jimmy G, the same person that got you to the Super Bowl, coached you the Super Bowl.
Well, the lights went out.
The lights went out. Mr. Jackson from Baltimore. That's what I would have put my money in for the bucket.
But let me go ahead and get to Mr. Ronnie. Ronnie, does the Christian McCaffrey trade now make the 49ers the favorite to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl?
I don't think it makes them the favorite. I mean, it helps them out a lot because I already thought the 49ers or the Eagles was going to be representing by the way the games have been played out right now and the way the teams are constructed. Does he add an extra element to the freaking game that's going to be hard to stop? Yes, but San Francisco has a number 6 defense and the Eagles has a number 2 ranked defense in the league. And at the end of the day, last time I checked, the Eagles are 6-0 and 49ers have lost. Jeff Wilson also outrushed. I know it's his first game, but he looked better than Christian McCaffrey did in that game when Christian McCaffrey was in that game. Christian first has to be healthy. He has to stay healthy in order, because the best trait about a football player is his availability. I don't give a crap how much talent he got. If he can't be on the field, he's no use to the team. He ain't gonna make no impact. So
your best ability
he's improved the last couple of years. He's been hurt. I love him. I love watching him play. He runs hard. He can catch the ball out the backfield. He can make spectacular plays. But he leaves the game when he's on the sideline a lot too often. So it's still too early to tell. My thing that I don't like, and they always have a run game. They've always had run game and defense gets them to the freaking playoffs and gets to the Super Bowl. Who messes it up for them is freaking Kyle Shanahan with 4 to 5, 10 minutes left. He stops running the ball and goes to the passing game when the run and defense has got you to the game. They had a 10-point lead on those Chiefs and stopped running the ball, and they wanted to pass with Jimmy G.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? That it's the same thing. The same thing they did last year when it was against the Rams. They was running the hell out of the ball with Debo. Then all of a sudden, when they have a lead, they want to throw on first and second down, and then when they get 2 incomplete passes, stop the clock. They want to run the ball with Debo on a 3rd and 8, and he gets stopped and had to punt. It's been the play calling in the Super Bowl. It's been the play calling in the freaking the NFC Championship games last year that has cost San Francisco. And for the life of me, Jimmy G has been their quarterback and has gotten you to the Super Bowl, gotten you to the NFC Championship game. And everybody on this panel would be screaming for a quarterback that gets you to the Super Bowl and to the freaking NFC Championship right now. And all 30 other teams would be too, right? And that's our whole point, is that we want a quarterback that gets us to the game. And he does. I'm not saying he's spectacular, but he has not been the only one that should be blamed for why they lost the Super Bowl versus Chiefs or why they
Oh,
lost in the
oh.
Oh,
NFC
it's
Championship.
definitely Kyle Shanahan because they
And
Oh, for
all the
ran
way
the
sure.
ball.
all
They
the way back
destroyed
to
the Packers running the ball.
I,
He
I
all the
only
way
blame
back
threw.
to yeah,
I,
all the way back
I
to when
blamed
he was
him.
on Atlanta's offensive coordinator. When
I blamed him.
Atlanta
I
was
blamed him.
up
I blamed him last
38.
year too. I blamed him last year too
when they
when
lost to the Rams
yeah,
because he kept letting that man throw the ball when they were
no,
supposed to
no,
run out.
no. It wasn't even just that. For me, with Kyle Shanahan, it's about the type of passing plays that he calls and when he calls them. Okay, because when he has Jimmy G doing the short game and the quick passing game, and it's like an extension of the run game, it works. When Kyle Shanahan starts calling those drop backs and he want him to drop back deep and sit in the pocket, that's when it doesn't work because that O line is a very good offensive line, but it's a run blocking offensive line. No, them boys is meant to get out in front, maul people, push people over, create space. So when you start asking a line that's meant to create space out in front for the run game to now constantly drop back and defend the pass, you also start getting your quarterback kicked, which we've seen. They give up crucial sacks on their passing plays because they want him to, because he called them dropbacks. I said it all the time. If Kyle Shanahan sticks with the run game and when he wants to call a pass game, he does the quick outs, the screens, the slants, the things that help Jimmy G really get in rhythm, it'll work. But when you start um when you start going back, and trying to drop back and throw the ball, it doesn't work. But let me go ahead and lastly get to David. David, with this Christian McCaffrey trade, does this now make the 49ers the favorite to win the NFC?
No, we won't make them favors. My take is just about pretty much the same as everybody else's. Doesn't make them the favorites. They still would need, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo not to make mistakes and Shanahan to call the right plays at the right time instead of getting in his own way and costing his team. So it's a great pickup because I know a lot of everybody was mentioning that he's an injury prone. You giving him another injury prone running back. But my critique on that is because look at the system he was in Carolina. He was the offense. That's all he was. He was the offense. When Cam Newton, pretty much when Cam Newton was pretty much not the same Cam Newton, he was there on the offense. I mean, they had some receivers, but he was also catching the ball. So that putting him in San Francisco is going to probably help save his because it's not so much pressure on him. Because one person we ain't been mentioning is they got George Kittle too. So honestly, they're gonna be all right. This is
If he
definitely be a
helps,
thing. But yeah, that's true. If it's gonna be a team to beat. Honestly, I would give them the favors to go to at least the NFC Championship. I would go that far and say that because they've been there multiple times and they show up at the right time. The only thing that's really been holding them back is coaching the quarterback. So I
Good
got
point.
them. I don't have them as the favorites, but I have them at least possibly making it to the NFC Championship game because towards the end of once they start syncing up the right time, they're gonna be too hard to stop because you got Caffrey, you got Tebow, the trick plays they can design, and then Ayuk can play. They got some other receivers outside of them, so it's gonna be a team. It's gonna be a hard team.
Well, I say this: as long as Kyle Shanahan go back to the game where they beat Green Bay where he threw the ball like 4 times, that's the offense that's gonna win you the championship. All runs. Your quarterback don't even got to throw the ball more than 5 times. 6 throws, 4, 5 throws, and just run. That's what'll get San Francisco there. But Shanahan gonna call a pass and blow the whole thing. So
Yep,
that's why they
and
won't get there.
and with that, I think we can all agree that the Christian McCaffrey trade, it helps out the 49ers. It puts them in some direction, but it may not be the right direction. But
Yeah.
speaking of teams that have been surprisingly good and teams that have been stinking it up, let's go ahead and talk about in my opinion, the best sports league in the world, the NBA. You feel me? That's just personal opinion. Let's talk about how Philadelphia, to start the season off, they are now 1-3. They got their first win against the Pacers. The Lakers are still 0-3, and the Jazz are 3-0 to start. Which is more surprising? Philly being 1-3 to start the season, the Lakers being 0-3, or the Jazz and also Portland being 3-0. Which of those has been most surprising so far? I'm gonna go ahead and start with David. David, which has been most surprising so far to start the NBA season?
Ooh, that's kind of tough, but going off that one, I'm gonna say Utah because they traded away their core pieces. Donovan Mitchell gone, Rudy Gobert is gone, so everybody think we kick them a rebuilding team. We ain't even gonna scratch the playoffs because we ain't even gonna say play in. We ain't even gonna say that because we ain't gonna be there. But man, they are balling, and we gotta give some flowers and put some respect on this man, Jordan Clarkson. Because that dude is gonna be awesome. The way this man is playing this year,
Laurie too. That man Laurie been dunking on people and dropping 30s.
What y'all just talking bad on Jordan Clarkson the other day?
No,
What y'all just talking
that
bad
was
on
them.
Jordan
I was talking
Clarkson?
about
No,
Jordan. I was
I
pumping
wasn't.
Jordan.
I wasn't. That was Chris.
Hey,
Jordan Clarkson is gonna be an all-star this year if he keeps this momentum up. Well, he might
Why
be.
the Bulls can
I
have his
think
version of Laurie?
he may. Know what? I might have to say I like Clarkson. I'm gonna say this. He gonna be an all-star snub. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna end up probably be an all-star snub because you got to think about who he's gonna take him over. You can't take him over Steph. You can't take him over Ja. Dame is back, so I mean, he's gonna probably end up being an all-star snub. But he is definitely an all-star caliber player at this point right now. Jordan Clarkson been in the league for quite some time too. So, and the fact that he's still doing this, so yeah. Utah is my surprising team, actually, because like I said, marketing is balling. They still do got Mike Conley. Kelly Olynyk has been surprising people too. So, yeah. So right now, I got to go with Utah as the most surprising team because they probably still gonna be in the playoffs, and they might actually win a playoffs this year. They might upset somebody. We don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but it could happen. But I got to. They look like they're gonna be exactly where they were last year, still making the playoff.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what, David? I'm gonna have to agree with you that the Utah Jazz are the most surprising thing to start the NBA so far. I know you over there shaking your head, Mr. Portland. Oh, Portland's the most surprising to start the season. But you know what? Honestly, alongside the Utah Jazz 3-0 start, really, I gotta say the Lakers, man. The Lakers being 0-3 is very surprising to me as well, bro. Like that's crazy. Okay, we all knew they were gonna have trouble shooting the ball. That's obvious. But to lose the games that they've been losing, the way they've been losing, is a little bit surprising. Especially because you would think that when you up on the Portland Trailblazers, how you are. 1 second left. It wasn't a second left, but you up by one with like 30 seconds left on the clock, man. All you gotta do really is either hold the ball or go get a layup. But
on
you
Portland with Dame time, that's all you gotta do. Stop.
Stop. Hold the ball to get a layup.
Stop.
If you only got like 0.2 seconds to shoot the ball, that's not enough time to make
the Rockets tried that, and you saw what happened.
It was more than 0.2 seconds on the clock.
No, it wasn't. It was like 0.7. That man
did right. That's definitely more than 0.2. .7, we've seen it throughout NBA history. .7 is enough to get off a shot.
Well, with them 30 seconds, they would have had more than that. They would have had at least 6 seconds.
But the Utah Jazz being 3-0 and the Lakers being 0-3 to start the season are the most surprising to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and go on to Mr. Portland himself. Let's go ahead and hear who he got to talk about and see what he got to say.
You know what he's gonna say.
No,
Can we just end this now? Do we gotta let him talk?
Because honestly, Portland is no surprise. What you mean? Y'all thought they were gonna come out bad? What y'all tweaking,
no,
bro? What?
It's just
my man
not 3-0.
They out here undefeated. What, man? My man's finna make noise. This ain't a surprise. He do this. Stop playing with that man, bro. What? Anyway, so the most surprising, it ain't the Lakers. We know the Lakers is bad. We knew the Lakers was gonna be bad. Only people who ain't know this or ain't want to believe this is Lakers fans. We all know that they is bad. They ain't made no improvements to their roster. We all knew they still couldn't shoot everything. This ain't what the Lakers doing is no surprise. It's not. The Jazz is a big surprise. And since you all have, already presented that point, I'm not going with that. And I was thinking about going with it, but I'm glad y'all presented it because it really brings this other point to light. The Sixers is disappointing. They is trash, man. They is disappointing, bro. Y'all supposed to be they is basically the favorites coming into the season by a lot of people, especially to come out the East. I mean, Embiid supposed to be MVP last year, and then you got Harden, bro. This supposed to be the year that they put it together. You seen how they
were the favorites by me.
And they might not be by you, but to a lot of people, bro, they had them favorites. They got Embiid favorite for MVP. They got them number one record, all kind of stuff. People got them. They supposed to have a very successful year. And to start off like that is complete opposite. Let's just say that. Complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? A major disappointment. And the losses that they took, I mean, they don't look good. I'm gonna just keep it 100. They don't look good. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got fourth quarter collapses and everything. So, hey, they gonna have a long season and a long 2-3 years if they don't figure something out in the next 2-3 months.
Can I say something real quick? My fault, Neil. I gotta address this since we're on the Philly topic. Because I recall back in history on this show, we had some people I'm not gonna name any names. We had some people say when we talk about the Kevin Durant trade, we could trade Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey to get Kevin Durant. But I'm like I said, I'm not gonna call them people out. But I wonder how that would have worked out if they would have just get Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Kevin Durant. But I'm gonna leave it.
I mean, it might have worked out considering Brooklyn don't look too much better. Tyrese Maxey looking a whole lot better than Ben Simmons, so
he been looking better than him.
And
but
Tobias
I guess my point was, and y'all thought that would have been a good trade, and the fact that y'all actually thought that would be enough to get Kevin Durant. Them two alone was enough to get Kevin Durant.
With a bunch of picks.
Remember, y'all didn't even throw out picks. Y'all just said Tyrese Maxey. You just trade Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris. It might not have been you, Mike. Like I said, I'm not.
You got to give up all your picks too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't recall anybody saying picks. So all I was saying was Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey, two players who you can't put them in the same body to be Kevin Durant.
I'm gonna get you some receipts on that. Don't worry.
Yes, sir.
Definitely get those receipts. I want to see those receipts too. I want to see those receipts.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pass this over to I'm gonna pass it over to Ronnie, man. Ronnie, what has been most surprising to you to start the season? The Phillies beat the 76ers being 1-3, the Lakers being 0-3, or the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trailblazers both being 3-0 to start the season?
To me, it's definitely got to be the Utah Utah being undefeated because Portland obviously has got Dame. So you know that in itself is enough to say, you know, you could understand they probably be 3-0. But the Lakers, we all know what's terrible. They're not having no shooters on them. Plus, you also got to look at who the Lakers played. They also played against Golden State Warriors. They lost that game. They also lost to the Clippers, who could be coming. You know, I'm excited to see what they become when they get a little bit healthy and start to learn to play together. I'm excited to see how they do throughout the season. But the Lakers aren't. That's the thing I'm most excited about because, you know, I don't really like the Lakers, so I'm glad that they are 0-3 at this point. But the Utah Jazz, they got rid of their stars, their core team, and nobody would have said that at the beginning of the season. Utah Jazz is gonna start off 3-0. I
Facts.
mean, it would have
Nobody.
probably been one of the last teams you would pick to be 3-0
Facts.
if you started that they got rid of Gobert and Donovan. You know, you would never say, "Oh yeah, this is Utah's year." No one said Utah's gonna go 3-0, and so that's why I picked the Utah. And so and that's my point. That's my take on that side.
I mean, I can see them going 3-0 before I mean, that's just me. Before I can see Philly going 0-3, just cause they could start off playing three ass teams or something. You know what I'm saying? At first, and they could, you know, win them 3 games with teams that, you know, like the
But
Rockets.
they
I know they
didn't.
schedule wasn't that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, they did have, you know, some easy games in that mix. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Marcus, man. Marcus, who has been more surprising to you? Has it been Portland, the Lakers, Utah, or Philly?
You know, I want to go with Utah because you would think with everybody gone, you know, that team be all disarray. However, they kind of did what Cleveland did with the rebuilding stage. How Cleveland was scary good without like real superstars. Um, I got to go with a healthy Lakers team being 0-3 because there's no excuses. You got Anthony Davis back healthy right now. You got a healthy LeBron. You got Westbrook, which is very disappointing. Um, you went to go get Pat Bev for defense, so everybody's healthy, but you can't shoot. Nobody can shoot anymore, and that's what's very disappointing and very, that's disturbing. I'm not a Lakers fan, not by one bit, but it's still disturbing. You got the so-called best player in the world, and you got the one of the biggest, stars in your big man, and you got the Mr. Triple Double, and everybody's healthy, and Mr. Playoff Championship guy in Pat Beverly. So, it's it's very weird to see them 0-3 right now because it's like, what's your excuse now? And that's all I gotta say about that.
I feel you. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on to Chris, man. Chris, who has been most surprising to you to start the season so far?
Well, the obvious choice would be the Utah Jazz after trading away their players being 3-0. That's obvious. But I want to second what Marcus said, like the Lakers, because I've seen all these videos of LeBron training, all these training videos. In his training, he was hitting jump shots. He was shooting the threes. He was dunking with his sons. He was shooting the threes, and he was hitting them. They was going in all net. They was going in splash. But then when you get on the court, you can't hit him in the game, but you was shooting all these threes in practice. I seen him and Pat Bev shooting threes together. And bro, can't none of y'all hit a three to save y'all life in the game. But y'all can practice shooting all these threes, but it just don't translate to the game. So, and I'm with Marcus, like, what is y'all excuse? Because that's what y'all was saying. Once we get healthy, we need AD back. We need what? Once we get healthy, we gonna be the top. Y'all healthy, bro. Now, and y'all got defense supposedly. So what's like? There is. I'm with Mark.
I tell
Ain't
you
no
what their
excuse.
excuse is. Their
Y'all
excuse
can't
is
shoot.
Their excuse is it's just 0-3, and they got Pat Bev now, so they're gonna make the playoffs regardless. You feel me?
Remember, LeBron and AD are playing with him. He not playing with them. They playing with him. But real quick,
Facts.
I gotta
So
address
that
like
0-3 don't matter to them. They gonna make it regardless because Pat Bev there.
He said they playing with him.
Hey, but it's
I want,
crazy. Like, but I want to know
that
what
that was
is
a
it
good one,
over for
David.
Russell
That was a
Westbrook?
good one.
Like, what happened to bro, man? Westbrook went from being Mr. Triple Double, Mr. MVP, to being on the Lakers.
It's the LeBron effect, bro. He was never supposed to. It's the LeBron effect, bro. If you
It's
if
just a
you look at
team,
the
yo.
season he had before that, when he was on the Wizards, the Rockets, OKC, it's the LeBron effect. When you when you go play with LeBron and LeBron say, I need you to do something that's out of your character, this is what happens. Westbrook ain't meant to shoot the ball, bro. He's meant to be a ball dominator. He's meant to get everybody in position. Y'all literally got the same player twice in two different positions. Y'all got one as a 6'8" small forward and the other one as a 6'3" point guard. They're both ball dominant. Neither of them can shoot, and they need a bunch of shooters around them. So when you got two, it was never going to work out because they need the exact same thing around them to be successful. So when you got two people who need the exact same thing around them, they can't be on the same team. And that's the biggest issue. Is
Westbrook
he's
just
with
needs to.
LeBron. I guarantee you right now, if you take Westbrook away from LeBron, bro, he dropped a 20-point triple double his first game away from LeBron.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
gotta
Just like when LeBron was hurt and he started dropping on them triple doubles
He
again
did.
last year.
It's
But
I
like,
gotta
but
say
it's
this.
like, but it's like, what are the Lakers thinking in their front office? You have nobody that can space your floor. You got three dudes, even Pat Beverly, they all penetrated. All them dudes need to be penetrating to the basket. If
Pat
can't
Bev,
nobody
the best
shoot,
shooter on the team.
you got no floor spacing. How you gonna space the floor? You can't even space the floor. LeBron can't shoot. Westbrook can't shoot. I can leave you open for the three all day. Just clog the paint. Just clog
Hey
the paint,
man,
get the rebound.
hey
They need to
man,
have
Westbrook
need to
needs to
have
start
Westbrook play
working
like
out, man.
Magic Johnson. You know how Magic Johnson was like how when the Jordan
This
was
is
going at it, come down the lane. You need some of those.
hey,
Westbrook needs to stop.
I
Westbrook needs to stop working out, man, because since he didn't got all this strength and these newfound muscles. That man be throwing that ball
Hard
got
as fuck,
a
bro.
fireball.
hey,
He was throwing fastballs, 90 miles an
hey,
hour.
And I
Like, bro,
thought
you
my
I
shooting
shoe
it.
was
Not this
bad.
ain't
I thought
baseball,
my
bro.
shoe
Like,
could be
calm
bad.
down, man. He be
I
shooting that
got
ball like he's throwing it at the fans, man. Like I be like, bro, like chill, like
Man, he
I
man.
told
thought
that
my shoe was bad because I ain't gonna lie. Marcus and my brother can attest. I've had shots where I've shot over the
Oh, I
backboard.
can attest. What you mean? I
yeah,
know.
I
Over
could
the
attest
told,
to that.
backboard.
told your G
But
side.
but uh but uh but uh while we while we are talking about Westbrook, the one thing we could never say about him is that he cheats the game, that he takes time off, which leads me to my next questions. How is load managing affecting the NBA, the players, the fans, the teams as a whole? Because as we saw to start the season, the Chicago Bulls sat Zach LaVine for the first two games of the season. The Los Angeles Clippers put Kawhi Leonard on a minutes restriction. He's coming off the bench right now, so that way they got him for the fourth quarter in these games.
That was actually his choice. Just putting that out there.
Well, still his choice, but the team agreed to it though. So it's still a combined thing. It's what they felt was best for business overall, which is why it was his choice. With I could see the Clippers maybe messing around and doing something like that anyway, just because we know how Kawhi is when it comes to load management. You feel me? If you want to win a championship with Kawhi, you got to do load management. We saw it happen with the Raptors. He only played about 60 games and they won a chip that year. You feel me? So it's like, at least when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, I can't say for all players because they're not Kawhi Leonard, but when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, you want to win a title, you got to load manage. But how is load management affecting just the NBA in general as a whole. Let's go ahead and start with you, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna give you all an example. Honestly, this is an example. So NBA, right? Load management, it's affecting all these teams essentially in the same way. And a good example of that is switch sides, but it's the NFL with how they started. NFL, they load manage. You had teams not even playing in the preseason, not teams, but players, not even playing in the preseason. No games, no snaps, nothing. Just sitting there chilling, not even
I mean,
trying to
but
get
that's preseason. That's common for the
okay.
preseason.
Hold on. But that's also it's not preseason. That is part of load management. They're not doing that because it's preseason. They doing it because it's load management. That's extra games that they players got to play. It's more of a chance for them to get hurt and things like that. You see what I'm saying? And what happens when the season starts? These teams is out of chemistry. They can't hit the receiver. The receivers ain't hitting the routes the right way. Quarterbacks throwing the ball where they think they supposed to be, and they ain't even nowhere there. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same way with the NBA. You can see it with teams like the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? Look at them, out of rhythm. Ben Simmons out here with 6 fouls a night. Why is Ben Simmons getting 6 fouls a night? I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't understand. So you know what I'm saying? It affects teams. It affects their chemistry, and it affects coaching too, because you don't know what's gonna work, what to stick with. You spending so much time trying to make sure players is healthy and things like that. You can't even put together a solid lineup. You switching it before it even switch itself. So you know what I'm saying? I think that's big. The fans, of course, all the fans is getting the short end of the stick with load management because they spend all this money for them to pay these players all this money, and we don't even get to see the players. You know what I'm saying? So of course they getting the short end of the stick. Us as fans, that's just I don't know what's gonna happen with that. They either gonna decide on shorter games or they gonna keep doing this load management the way it's looking. So that's gonna be that. And then with the progress that we supposedly having in terms of sports medicines and knowledge and things like that, I don't understand why so much load management is going on when we supposed to have improved in all these other areas. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should be able to handle. I mean, if we had people playing 82 game seasons before we got this advanced, how can't we do it now? It don't add up. You know what I'm saying? So
I think load management is part of this new sports medicine that they be talking about. That's why load management became such a thing and became such a factor.
that don't make no sense, because the medicines that what I'm saying that they giving the players is supposed to be better, stronger, and it's supposed to be more specific to what each person need, depending on what it is. So that don't make sense when they didn't even have these in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s, stuff times like that. And players were still playing 5, 6 seasons. John Stockton didn't play 82 games a season for almost a whole career, and they have half the medicines and the knowledge that the doctors and
Good
stuff of
point.
today got, and
That's a
things like
damn
that.
good point.
So it's like, why are we trying to load manage? Y'all load managing now more than ever when y'all supposed to have more resources now more than ever. It seemed like they kind of contradicting themselves to me.
I feel you. I get exactly where you are coming from, and I also feel like a big part of load management, just to kind of like build off your point, is the fact that these teams are paying these players so much money, and they be so scared that they gonna get hurt. And I really think that that's part of the biggest issue is teams are so worried about trying to protect their money, which comes into question is like, yeah, we know the salary cap gonna grow every year and things like that. But like, should like now this kind of brings into question is, should the NBA go from a soft cap to a hard cap? Because if they go to a hard cap, you kind of take away some of this because it's not as much guaranteed money to go around. The increase ain't as big every year, so you feel me. So the change of pace and the change of increase of money is it's kind of consistent, but it's like load management really is affecting the game, affecting pretty much everything. Like you said, Mike, it's affecting the game, affecting the players, affecting the fans, because it's like you never know. It's like you got so many players now who can't get a consistent rhythm because it's like one night they might be starting, and then the next 4 games they on the bench, and then they might be starting 2 nights here because it's a back to back, and they resting this player for the back to backs. So now he's starting again, and then lineup change, he back on the bench. He can't get a real rhythm. Coaches don't know what lineups to put out there. Fans are really picking and choosing what games to go to now. Like it's almost like fans have started to pick and choose whether or not they're gonna go to a game. Really, only if it's like the big national televised ones. Like the big marquee matchups that players are gonna be there and gonna be ready for and things of that nature. So it's like I feel like there is a way to like temper and like take down some of this load management to where it's not as big and as prevalent as it is. But then I guess that will call into question like actual like systematic changes in the NBA, which I either mean like a shorter schedule or maybe changing the hard or maybe changing the cap from a soft cap to a hard cap. And just something has to change where either they got to figure out how to decrease load management or make it so that way it's not as big of a factor as it is. Whether that's taking away some of the money players are starting to make again, or I mean starting to make now, or shortening the season. Something's got to give. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to David. David, what do you think? How is load management affecting the NBA?
Affecting it too much because pretty much these players are getting passes because everybody hurting people pockets like the diehard fans want to go see their favorite players. I always hear from a lot of people where they say people walk to the turnstiles to come see you, but you load manager, so you gonna sit out this game and you gonna sit out the next one because you gonna sit out 2 games because they back to back, or vice versa. You play one and you miss the next. So it's affecting the league in that way because back in the 90s and the 80s, like I think Mike or you mentioned now, they didn't have that. Majority of the players played every single night. Majority of them. And if you just want to put a bracket out and just compare this era with the old era and just look at half of the top players in the league now compared to the top players or like the 90s era. Just look at the games. Just look at the total amount of games played compared to this. And I bet you it'll probably shatter it. Because they gave it they all and they played hurt too. So,
for less money at that.
For less money. So
wasn't getting
way
paid
less money. Way less
wasn't
money.
getting paid much of nothing. And they
some of them dudes still working second jobs in the off season.
Man, it's just bad because now, matter of fact, in a sense, it's cheating. It's cheating the game. In a sense, you're cheating the game because actually, I'll give you a example. I don't want to say it is, but like for example, like a playoff series. All of a sudden, next thing you know, like this team is playing all their players, but then when the other team got their fresh player coming back, where these guys have been banging and grinding, but then they end up losing because they got fresh space over there. So that's why in a sense it's hurting the game. It's pretty much cheating, so it can make it easy. And it's exactly what all y'all discussed. So, and the amount of money that these players are getting play, come on, man.
Like I remember at least maybe about like I think 2014 is when load management really, really started to become a big thing. I think right around 2014 when I was going into high school, my freshman year of high school, I think load management was really starting to become a big thing because a lot of players were starting to get hurt and they were starting to sit players. I do remember though, like it would be like tradition, like kind of like how they do in the NFL. Like when it's those last couple games of the season, you got your playoff spot locked up. You feel me? Like I understand. Six some of your starters maybe not playing there because we see it happen in the NFL all the time. Like how many times in week 17 or week 18, it's like a team that only maybe got 2 or 3 losses. They're like, we gonna sit all our players. We already got our playoff spot locked up. Like we can go ahead and take like I understood that, but
I
like
don't
with the
get that
way
because you still supposed to be trying to win every game, and you still
right,
supposed
right,
to
right,
win.
right, no,
You
right,
still
no,
supposed
right,
to
no,
try to get, the
right,
most wins
right,
every
that,
year and
right,
things like that.
and
Now
that's
teams just play to get to the playoffs, and then they're like, all right, we'll go all out then.
right, and that's not what I'm trying. Like what I'm trying to say is like you should
Real quick,
always try to win like every game. But like I understood, you feel me? Like the last maybe like game or two of the regular season, especially if you are a top 1 or 2 team. Like I understood that. You feel me? Like we gonna sit in the last 2 games. It is what it is. Like I understood that. But the
I think
way
what you was
now,
trying to say, Neil. I think what you was trying to say, Neil. Sorry to cut you off. I think what you was trying to say is, if you already, I give a better example is, you already won the division. You already
Yeah.
got home court or home field advantage.
Right.
Already, then rest them. Then rest them.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like to start the season, middle of the season, you feel me, on a random Tuesday, just because he said he woke up and he was breathing a little heavier than normal today, you feel me, that this player feel like he needs to sit out today, or y'all gonna work with him to sit out or whatever and do that. Like no, like that's not what I'm saying.
Now they'll risk home court advantage for the last couple games.
Yeah,
just to prepare for the playoffs.
And
they don't care about that.
And see that's the thing that started to blow my mind too. It's like now teams are giving up home court advantage to load manage in the NBA, which is like something really, really, I didn't agree with. But let me go ahead and pass it off to the rest of the panel. Let me go ahead and get your thoughts on this, Ronnie. How do you feel, man? Like how does load manage affect the game?
I feel at the end of the day, it's hurting the product that's put out there on the court and on the field. Fans pay to go see their favorite players play, and and it's usually the ones that don't have the money, the ones that save up money to go to the games, go see their favorite players. It's like a once in a lifetime, a one time a season thing, and then they go and they pay that money, and then their favorite player ain't playing because of low management. I think the players do make entirely too much more money nowadays. They have way much more, control. I mean, say for instance, they're making all this max contracts, $200 some million, but then you can also choose to sit out and say you have problems, you have this, and you can sit out and are you giving any of that money back? Or you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you ain't giving no money back, but you could sit out and say all kinds of reasons why you ain't gonna play and all this and all this. And at the end of the day, to me, sports is sports. Now in football, it's different. You can get hurt seriously, really seriously hurt, but it's a game at the end of the day to me. And you're getting paid $100 million, $200 million, and you can't show up for 82. It's like, okay, say for instance, like we have a certain guy, we praise him for being 20 seasons into his career, but only played one season where he had 82 games, I think. One season out of those 20 years, Mr. King James. Michael Jordan did it 9 times in his career. You mentioned John Stockton did it several times in his career. They paid less money, but they showed up and played every freaking day.
Kobe did it. Kobe did it. We saw Kobe try to play through a torn Achilles.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, he even went out there on a torn Achilles and hit 2 free throws and then walked off the court. And then last year, Lakers could have made it to the playoffs, and we got LeBron sitting on the sideline talking about an ankle injury, and they missed the playoffs. They didn't go to the playoffs. They could have won that game. Wasn't that a game that they could have won and went in? But I sit there and seen plenty of times, big old ice pack on Kobe's knee, big old ice pack on his shoulders. It's just, to me, it's like the players are putting in the work. They are playing. but also the players also did it back then too. And then the off the field money that they're making too, it's an ungodly amount of money. You can get your butt out there on the court and play. You can get your butt out there on the field and play. I mean, if you have a serious injury, I understand that you have to miss games. It's going to ruin your career. But I just see that low management thing is just the fans is what go out there, especially if got little kids or fathers and sons taking their kids out there for the first time, and then all of a sudden you hear right before the whistle blows, so and so ain't gonna play. It's like for us, Tim Duncan was old, the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan was missing back-to-back games almost for like the last 2 years of his career, 2 or 3 years of his career. But he was an old man at that time. But still, I mean, Spurs fans go there to see that old man run up and down the court and put them buckets in and play the fundamental game. And I'm pretty sure they was, I guess mad or disappointed in that situation. And at the end of the day, it's like you got to start worrying about longevity in the product that you're putting out there. Eventually, if it keeps getting worse, then what's going to happen to the game that everybody loves? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I love watching it. I love watching football, but even all the way down to let's tuck the quarterback down when we sack him and all that stuff. That's all that stuff is gone out of the game, and it's kind of sometimes it's like ruining the game almost. It's like, but we got to find that middle way in between it. But I think load management is hurting the game.
I feel you, and I completely agree. You got no disagreements for me. Let me go ahead and get your thoughts on this, Marcus. Man, how do you feel load management is affecting today's product and just the game as a whole?
For a fan's point of view, yeah, it sucks because if I save up my money, my life savings to go see my favorite player and they're not playing because and they're not hurt, they just load managing. Yeah, that's gonna make me as a fan like, you know what? Never again. Now I'm not a biggest fan like I used to be. Same thing with watching the game. You sitting there, you want to watch the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Kevin Durant's play. Nobody want to tune in and just watch Patrick Beverly play by himself.
The backup. Don't nobody want to see the backup.
Right,
Don't nobody want to see the backup.
But from a business point of view, manager, yeah, I can understand load management is good because now you're looking at longevity and you're still getting revenue even though your star players are not out there, so you're making money regardless. Another thing is you I don't know. I don't like
That's
it.
why I think some need to change. Because I mean, you pay box office to see box office, and if you're not gonna see box office, why you still paying box office? Like these people need their money back or something.
That's what I'm talking about. So not get the money back, but you need to reduce those prices. So
definitely reduce the price.
When you paying $300 a ticket, and those $300 tickets needs to go down to at least $80 now because what I'm paying for, I'm not getting. So that's only fair. Why am I paying for something that I'm not getting?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly why a lot of fans and a lot of people have really felt slighted by load management. And Chris, man, let me go ahead and get your thoughts on this. Last but not least, man, let me get your thoughts on the whole load management and how it's affecting today's product.
I agree with what most of the panel was saying. And by me being kind of an old school guy and watching like players that used to play hurt, players who had the passion about the game where you couldn't keep them off. You couldn't keep Michael Jordan off the court. You couldn't keep a player like Joe Montana off the football field unless their leg was like totally torn up. They couldn't run. They arm was so broke they couldn't shoot it. You know what I'm saying? They was, and I think they was doing it for the fans. They was doing it because I heard Kobe say in the interview, he was all wrapped up. He said, "I do this for the people who pay all their money who ain't never seen me before." Like I think the players today, I don't think they even think about the fans. I think they just think about they checks, they payday, and they don't care.
Prime example, LeBron never doing a dunk contest. I mean, every fan in the world, essentially, even people who hate you, wanted to see you in a dunk contest, but you
all
don't
them
care
crazy
enough.
dunks you do in a game. Now look, now you want to be the greatest of all time as LeBron James, right? You finna
It wasn't
pass
just the
Kareem.
dunks he was doing in the game. It was the dunks he used to do in the layup lines, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. But my point is, you want to be the greatest of all time. Now, Mike led the league in scoring. Mike also won multiple dunk contests. You ain't even did nothing extra outside the All-Star game, bro. Mike was in the dunk contest. I bet you if Mike could shoot threes, Mike would have been in the three-point contest just because that's what makes you great. Like, okay, LeBron, you got like 30 years in the league, but how many times have you really played 82 games? I don't even remember if you once you played 82 games.
I think one time at 81, I believe.
That's insane, bro. You ain't played 82 games, and it's like, I don't know. And then I don't think these players, what are y'all doing taking care of y'all bodies? Because how are all y'all tearing up y'all legs?
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all got flimsy legs? Like,
Nah. So
almost every game they mention
ACLs and MCLs and
yeah, so it's not about having flimsy legs. It's about the type of workouts and the type of stuff they put their body through now. A lot of stuff these days is a lot more high intensity, high impact. You feel me? So it's like they're putting a lot more stress on their knees younger as well. Like you gotta think about
the style of play. Like
the
style of play is a lot more.
Yeah,
to be that skinny, do those things, it's a lot more strenuous on the body.
Because I think the players back they practice hard too, and you got to think, especially basketball was like WWE back then. Basketball was like wrestling then.
Right. They practice hard, but you got to think about it. Some of them didn't start doing that till maybe like college or like end of their high. Like I know you see the videos all on social media and everything. We are seeing kids your son's age, 9 and 10-year-olds out here doing high intensity drills and stuff like that to work out their bodies and get them like when you doing stuff like that from the time you are that age, especially with the type of advancement that we know now, and it's part of the reason why they work out how they do and all this different stuff, especially the type of style of play it is. Like you can strengthen muscles all you want, ligaments and all that other stuff, they gonna go regardless. So you can strengthen your muscles all you want. When it comes to ligaments and all that other stuff, they gonna go regardless.
All right, to your point, Neil, but I think because we like Ronnie, Mark, y'all play with. I think we always train. Did we train hard? Y'all think we trained hard when we were younger as to what they do now? Because I remember doing heels. We was practicing and we'd be outside. We did a lot of outside, even with basketball. We did a lot of outside stuff. It wasn't so much of the inside stuff.
Our stuff was more like military working out. We didn't have like the specialized training treadmills and the oxygen masks and stuff like they got now.
Yeah, we ain't had. That's what I'm saying. Ours was more natural.
But you got to think about it. This is why it's leading to more of those leg injuries because of the type of workouts that they are doing. This is the point.
Nah, it's, you know what it is? It's steroids. When you make your muscles get bigger, faster, stronger than your tendons, and they grow faster and all that stuff, that's why you got all the ACL injuries. It's because when you sit there, you squat. If you're sitting there, your muscles constantly getting bigger than they fastly do, than they supposed to develop over a longer time. Your tendons don't grow like that. Your knee, your joints don't grow like that. And when those muscles get bigger, the freaking tendons get tighter. And that's why we all of a sudden, over the last 10, 15 years, it's ACLs freaking like passing out ACL injuries like handy.
Because I don't even remember that many ACLs and people tearing up people did, but it wasn't constantly. As many constantly tearing up your legs, bro. Like everybody tearing up their leg, ACL. ACL. It's like, everybody tearing up their leg.
They always sit here and talk about whenever I see him play, they always put that plug in. He pays $1 million to take care of his body. Well, why is he ain't why can't he complete an 82 game season then? If he's paying $1 million to take care of his body, what's going on? I
Well,
mean,
now
it's
they
like
saying
have
because he
all the
old.
advanced science and all that stuff. Why ain't the players playing 82 games? Why are they not being able to play 82 games? You have the science, the nutrition, and all the new workouts that you do, and you're supposed to be, like the athletes, bigger, better, stronger. Well, I don't see that. I see them have no one's finishing complete games. I see football players getting injured left and right, quarterbacks being babied, and they still, getting hurt and all that stuff. It's like they didn't never take the punishment like other football players did. But players seem to be dropping like flies for some reason. And why is that? Or not playing at all because of something's is wrong with them. Especially in basketball, it's like if you're sitting there trying to tell me that you're making $200 million a year, and you also spending $1 million here, $2 million here, and just physical attributes to take care of your body, and you can't do one whole season of 82 games. I mean,
Yeah, that is.
not one. It's like we paying them a whole lot of money, but then it's like the product is kind of getting a little bit dwindled down a little bit. At some point in time, there has to be some kind of meat in the middle to fix it, or something like that. I mean, I don't.
Fact. That's
Feel
that's
you. I
all.
feel you. I completely agree. And with that being said, these players need to start playing 82 games. We need to start pumping out more episodes. This has been another episode of Can I Get Some Sports with That? I'm your host, Neil. Of course, I have Ronnie with me, David, Mike, Marcus, Chris. You can find us on Twitter at Can I Get Some Sports with That? You can find us on Facebook at Can I Get Some Sports with That? We are coming to y'all with more videos real soon. Everything is starting to get crazy again. Season is in full swing. NBA is back. We all the way back with all sports, baby. We'll catch y'all again soon.
Like and subscribe, baby.